What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Grunt Speak Live, episode 140, filmed on location in Joe Biden's America, where the economic markers are made up and the baby formula does not matter. Baby formula is like a feminist's body count, right? I'm Toxic Male. That's Terrence Popp.
What's up, you filthy fist fuckers?
Oh, God.
We got a show for you.
So is that better or worse than being a power bottom?
Yeah, here's the story.
Oh, man.
All right. So, I just got to Fort Lewis, and I'd been there maybe 3 weeks. And one of the guys we were hanging out with had a car, and he was going to leave to go to Seattle for the day. So three of us got in his car and went to Seattle. And we're hanging out, you know, we got pizza, went to Pike Street Market and stuff like that. And then, you know, we went a couple blocks away, and we decided to go into this establishment and get a beer. And my buddy Seabold is like, hey, this place is kind of empty. And it was kind of weird looking. And then we see these stools with these things sticking out of them.
Oh.
And Seabold's like, Hey, what's up with those stools? The guys, the bartender's cleaning the glass. He goes, well, them stools are for fisting. You never heard of fisting before?
Is that like...
We were all like Seabold's like, no, and where's the exit? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I had totally
awful.
forgotten that story, you bastard. Why'd I remember that?
Oh, that is so messed up.
Gotta start drinking now.
Okay, so is that, I guess, in that, you know, the loose gay butt twerking queers community, is that better or worse than felching?
I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I felt dirty.
I thought the music would have done it. You know, the guys, you know, with the assless chaps and the cop outfits.
There was only one or two people in there. It was like in the afternoons, like 5, 6.
Oh, okay. So if it was karaoke night, it would have been a dead giveaway.
Apparently there, it got nuts, right?
No pun intended, right? Don't die me, man.
Yeah, right around 8 o'clock. Needless to say, we got the hell out of there, and we got back to Fort Lewis, and we actually went to the JAG and told them that we need to add that to the do not go there list. And they're like, why? Did they rip you off? I'm like, it's kind of a gay bar, and they do like public fisting. He's like, oh, yeah. Goes, yeah, fuck those guys. And literally, and sure as shit, you know, they get the paper on Fort Lewis.
Oh, it's so nasty.
And in the back of the paper, they have all the places you're not supposed to go to. And if you get caught going there, you're going to get hemmed up with Article 15.
Okay.
And
the gay bar.
And gay bar fist in the ass was on there. Thank God.
Well, on the flip side, if you ever had to go back there for any reason, you just bring a container of Crisco and you never have to pay for a drink.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Don't die on me, man.
You got me laughing. You got me laughing, man.
I think it's some of that Mediterranean spice clogging up your pipe works up there.
Maybe.
You get, what was it, Buffs, right? Yeah.
All right, yeah.
There's this Middle Eastern joint. Ooh.
For those of you that don't know, I make a habit of going to like hole-in-the-wall bars and restaurants and trying the food. And you'd be surprised at just how either A, shitty the food is, because probably half the time it's shitty.
Yeah, like it's a hole in the wall for a reason.
Yeah, and there's some of them are just mediocre, but every once in a while you go someplace where it's so fucking good.
And that's Buffs.
Oh. Now we got Mediterranean restaurants all over the place here around Detroit.
Yeah, because we're like a hop, skip, and a cunt hair away from the Middle East 2.0.
Yeah, Dearborn,
otherwise known as Dearborn. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, food is just good, man.
Oh yeah.
We should start a channel called The Hole in the Wall. We just like go to places and try their food.
I love how you describe drive-through food that way. What? It's a hole that you get your food through. It's literally a hole in the wall.
Actually, my daughter did that when she was like 11, because I always had Del Taco in the car and stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, are you eating Del Taco again? That's not good for you. I'm like, yeah. She's like, those are just hole-in-the-wall places. And I'm like, what? Del Taco's like a national chain. She goes, no, you drive up to a hole, and they give you food. Thus, it's a hole in the wall. And I'm like,
that's
God
brilliant.
damn, you are spot on there. And
that is faultless logic.
It is. I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, man. And then a lot of their friends are going to grow up and get older, and then they're going to perform at the glory hole in the wall.
Let's hope not.
I hope not, too. It's awful.
That is just a crazy fucking thing.
Yes, for those of you watching this stream on YouTube, you don't get the real title, unfortunately. They're probably the same thing with Twitch too, because Twitch, they outlaw the word simp and things like that. So, death by 1,000 sluts, I knew would be a little bit too spicy for those platforms. If I really wanted to go for broke, it'd be #MeToo, death by 1,000 cunts. But
Yep.
You gotta give a little, take a little.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Listen, nothing's perfect. You're never going to hit it 100% of the time, 100% of the time.
No.
Maybe in your life, the stars will line up and you'll hit the target a few times, 100% dead center. But only the rarest of the rare can do it many more than just a few times in their lifetime.
Amen to that. Speaking of 1 in a million, we have a nice story for you from Germany. But first, I just want to show you a butt.
That's a nice butt.
It is a very nice butt. Hallelujah. Woman who poked holes in condoms handed 6-month jail sentence.
Was it suspended?
I don't know. Let's see. Found guilty of sexual assault after poking holes in her partner's condoms without his knowledge in what a judge has described as an historic case. A court in Western Germany found a woman guilty of sexual assault and handed her a 6-month suspended sentence. Oh, shocker.
See, that's some horse shit
For purposefully damaging her partner's condoms. No, it should have been an 18 to 21 year sentence, not suspended, because that's exactly what would have happened to the dude had she been successful.
Yeah, he'd been turned into a wage slave for 18 to 21 years. It could even be longer. I don't know the laws in Germany.
Yeah. And I love how they call it a historic case, but then they suspend the sentence.
Well, I mean,
really?
Women get a pass across the entire world.
Oh, yeah. They do 1/3 the time for the same crime as a man on average.
And but that's here in the United States. Over in India, like, these women do some egregious fucking shit and get a complete pass.
Oh, yeah.
I can't read their language, but every once in a while, I have one of the fans in India translate something and send it to me, and I'm like, oh my God!
Why?
Because they have like dowry rights and all kinds of like all these laws that were never like passed by the government.
Yeah.
But are, tradition shit. And then they got, tribes. Oh my God. My heart goes out to the men of India. You guys are getting double slam butt fucked with a fucking boomerang cock block to yourselves. I can't even attach enough bad words to what's happening to those men over there. Holy shit.
Yeah, feminism has arrived in India, and it is poisoning everything.
And there's been a lot of cases where women accuse men of shit, and then the men in the area kill that dude.
Yeah.
And then they find out it's a lie, and they don't do anything to the woman.
Oh, but women don't lie.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag believe all women, right?
Let's just get this straight. The women of the West have forgotten just how powerful the punani is. I'll give you an example.
Well, when you tank its value by giving it out for free.
Listen, hang on. All right. Way back in the beginning, when you look at the holy books, there was a place called Eden. And the man upstairs populated it with a man and a woman. Now, the man upstairs built everything from, light. That's pretty powerful, intimidating. And he only had one rule. Don't eat the apple. Well, what does old Eve do? She gives old Adam a taste of the punani. And then she says, let's go eat that apple. How bad can it be?
What could go wrong?
So the power of the punani back in the day was so powerful, it literally influenced a guy who was created by the man upstairs to go against the only rule the man upstairs had. That is the power of the punani. Men, stop it.
Yes, all right. Please stop it. Because otherwise...
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Because only God could.
That's right. It just makes me want to drink, man.
Well, that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah.
And I hope you all are joining us tonight with your beverages in hand, if you know what I mean. I got some...
your beer?
My black coffee-spiced rum here.
A mixed drink?
Yes.
And a shot and a half of hard liquor.
Outstanding.
So together, it's about 3.5 to 4 units of alcohol. And by the time I drive out of here, I'll be good.
That's what we call a menagerie.
That's right.
That's right. And I can't say I'm shocked that this woman pulled this. Apparently, she was in a friends with benefits relationship with a 42-year-old man. How old is she? 39.
Baby raby age.
A little bit. I mean, we're beyond the wall at this point. This woman's waxworks has already started to crustify.
Yeah.
And she thinks, well, this is my Hail Mary pass. Might as well give it a go.
Yeah, 31 to 41 is usually baby raby years. I had to write that down.
Baby rabies, yeah. And this next one here, I just deliberately didn't send it to you because I think the Babylon Bee won the internet with this story.
All right.
It is a brilliant piece of satire, and this flies in the face of all the leftoids and screeching harpies pissed off about the SCOTUS leak.
Here we go.
Are we ready?
Oh, yeah, bring it.
Here we go. Report. Man who would kill a kid so as to not be stuck with you, probably not husband material.
Wow!
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to be honest. When it comes to the reproductive rights of men, they just don't exist.
Exactly. But you pull this out, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, so that's what they mean? Oh. Well, that's offensive and misogynistic. How dare you? We need to censor the Babylon Bee again. Weh?
Yeah, wow.
I mean, seriously, if a dude, knocks up a chick, whatever, I'm going to keep the baby. Fine. 9 months later, shows up at the hospital room in Cuckaforniastan, where now it's legal to murder your own child up to 28 days after its birth, right? He takes one look at the kid, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of cute, but I don't want to talk to you. Space Ghost is on.
Wow. Yeah, listen, any woman out there who's willing to kill a kid to keep her, basically her freedom, don't marry those bitches ever.
No.
That should be one of the questions you need to ask these ladies, and you need to be upfront about it. Look them in the face and go, listen, I need to know this right now. And if I find out you ever lied to me about this question, I don't care if you're married for 1 year or 100 years, I'm out. Have you ever had an abortion? If she says yes, thank her for her answer, and then ghost. Because you don't need that in your life.
No.
Yeah,
no,
even if she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, it was terrible, blah, blah, blah. That's a lot of bad karma.
Yeah.
You don't need to invite that into your life. Put up a wall and say, you just stick to your own.
Yeah. And all these women, the ones who are they have a remote nugget, like some lonely atrophied synapses up in their thinking meat still actually fires on half a cylinder of logic. They'll say, well, what about the women who have a medical problem and the incest and the rape? And first of all, none of that is the kid's fault.
All right. Well, this is where you and I disagree.
Yeah.
If it's incest or rape and something like that were to take place.
Well, I'm not saying that I disagree.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying
it's not.
It's still not the kid's fault.
No,
ever. It's not. But at the same time, you can agree with that point 1,000%. You would still eliminate, it turns out, the vast majority of abortions. Because here we go. The state of Florida records a reason for every abortion that occurs within its borders each year. And in 2020, there were 74,886. This table lists each reason and the percentage of abortions that occurred because of it.
Oh, here we go.
74.9% gave no reason. 20.4% aborted for social or economic reasons.
So 95% of all divorces, or not divorce, of all abortion, all divorce is an abortion.
Yep. And then you have 1.88%, the woman's psychological health was threatened by the pregnancy. 1.48%, her physical health was threatened by the pregnancy.
Okay.
Then less than 1%, there's a serious fetal abnormality. 0.2%, her life was endangered by the pregnancy. 0.15%, rape. 0.01%, incest.
Wow.
So if we can agree on those things, sure, that's fine. We will still eliminate 95% of all abortions, and I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, and you know what? You can still have the same result. It's called the morning after pill.
A little bit.
And listen, if you think some craziness went on and or things were a little out of control and, something was delivered right to the warehouse, just take the morning after pill, clear the inventory out, and start over.
Yeah.
Okay, it happens. What are you going to do?
And I love it. Like, well, I didn't know that I was pregnant. Like,
How the fuck is that even possible?
I love that. Like, how? Okay.
I don't get it.
I guess.
All right, hang on.
Possible?
Is it or is it not your semi-permanent home here on the planet? The meat suit that you donned when you were born and you carry around every day, 24/7, 365, minus extenuating circumstances. If you have to say yes to that and something is happening within your meat suit and you're oblivious to it, you're a fucking idiot. Okay, it's not like you have a cancerous tumor that's growing inside you and it has no symptoms until it starts to like rub on something. Got it.
This will like. Oh, I thought it was gas.
Like women get a warning once a month.
Yeah.
Either you're on or you're off.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the month comes, you start bleeding and don't die. You proved you can't be trusted, but you're not pregnant.
Yeah. Now there's exceptions to every rule.
Yes.
There's always abnormalities. I actually know someone who was pregnant already, and for some reason her ovaries just kept firing shit. Next thing you know, she got twins. One of them is a ginger with green eyes, and the other one is a brunette with brown eyes. And I'm like,
It happens.
yeah. And they were technically conceived weeks apart.
Technically.
Allegedly.
Interesting.
So there's always going to be exceptions to that rule. But that's one of the funniest things about ORNPay is that I stumbled across this one day, doing research purposes, of course.
Of course.
Apparently there's a whole category out there of ORNPay called the, I guess the Three Stooges would know it the best, the cream pie surprise.
Oh, yeah.
How is that a surprise? Like, dude's finished. He's in his, he's already across the room wiping up. He's just basically just trying to stay awake. And you fucking, like, you couldn't tell.
Well,
Is your waxworks so beaten up from you taking that chainsaw vibrating lightsaber to it that you can't actually tell?
I'm going to be honest here.
Wow.
If you are trying to negotiate with a man the rules of the encounter, it's probably not going to work out for you. You should probably put protection in place and then address the issue if it goes outside those parameters.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I can't tell how many times women are like, I'm not on the pill. Then why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I was with a chick once upon a time, and so redhead seems to be a common theme today. And we're doing our deal, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I really wish you could." Are you on the pill? No, that ain't happening.
Whoa.
No, thank you.
Hey, listen, man, all it takes is like 2 or 3 of those super commando sperms to run their ass up there and turn you into a wage slave for 21 years.
That's right, man. All you need is one Rambo sperm to storm the line, and next thing you know...
Not even that. They're sneaky. It's a recon sperm. Nobody...
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It happens.
Yeah. Well, the condom broke. There's usually a warning before that happens.
That does happen.
It does happen.
It's happened to me twice in my life.
It's only ever happened to me once, though, where I didn't realize it happened. The rest of the time, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then I'm like, "Oh, well, it's just whatever." Like, no, if it starts to feel like it's cutting off your circulation, dudes, change it and give the lady some lube, because that's what's going on.
I think I disintegrated them with the angry inch treatment. I was inexperienced.
The angry inch.
So you get in there like, next thing you know, it breaks. You don't even know it. You're like, oh, that was great. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last in line for that jelly donut, huh?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I got lucky, though, thank God. Because it could have been very bad. Because that woman was less than desirable.
Well, yeah.
I had to drink her up to a 7.
And what was she prior to drinking her up to? Said
I don't
7?
know, 5.5.
Average then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. We're just trying to give you a little bit of levity, dudes. There's a lot of shit going wrong in the world right now, and one of the things that can go worst for you is divorce. And with that in mind, we're going to jump over to our sponsor for tonight's stream. We got Thomas Fitzgerald and his book, Men's Guide to High Conflict Divorce. Self-deletion rates among men skyrocket after a divorce, but you're not alone. Remember to prepare yourself for the long game needed to survive a divorce with this book, Men's Guide to High Conflict Divorce. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle right now. Link is in the Meat Gazer box. Caught you looking, you power bottoms.
All right.
All right.
Listen, man, the divorce of today is no fucking joke. I mean, like in the 70s, people got divorced a lot, but a lot of the laws that were the draconian laws that are smashing men today didn't exist then. They really started to come into their own right around 1985 to 1990. And they quite literally wipe their ass the Constitution. They violate the rules of men on, virtually every day, and there's no recourse.
Yeah.
Because they fall back on this nebulous term, best interest of the child.
And there is no legal definition of that term.
No,
just so we're clear.
Yes.
And what they really mean is, let's just be logical. The best interest of a child would be to be in the care of the parent who can afford to support that child on their own. 85% of the time, that is not what happens.
I know, but listen, I'm a man, and I think about everything logically. Granted, the kids go live with the mother. The mother will nurture them and love them. And then right around 11-ish, when the kids start to develop their own mind, and they become unresponsive to the female. And then they go off the fucking rail.
Yep.
Because a lot of times, when a boy gets between 10 and 12, the mother will be like, he's your son, educate him.
Yeah. He needs, the nurturing phase is over.
Yes.
Now we need logic and tough love. Kids aren't getting that, and that's where you get the skyrocketing crime rates, the daycare generation. Everybody's being raised in daycare, 25 kids to one adult, and the only way they can get attention is to throw a temper tantrum, and then you wonder why we got 2 years straight of burning, looting, and murdering.
Yeah, it's time for our country to go back to the good old-fashioned ways, and that is boot to ass.
Boot to ass.
I've received in my life probably a good dozen boot to the ass.
And you probably deserved and needed every single one of them.
I sure did.
There you go.
And there's no hard feelings.
No.
I mean, as an adult, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
It reminds me of my cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
I'll get my ass kicked to collect $200. I could use a good ass kicking, I'll be very honest with you.
I've actually said that before to people.
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, I'm going to fucking kick your ass. And I'm like, it's been a while since I enjoyed a thorough ass beating. Could you please give me one?
And then, afterwards you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
It was a moderately satisfactory ass beating. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Well, in Washington State, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, in New York State. Their laws are insane. You can get charged with all kinds of crazy stuff just for arguing with people.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Now in Canada, you can get thrown in jail for arguing on Twitter.
Well, in this particular one, I was at Saranac Thursday, and it's like a brewery in Utica, New York, and then a big soiree every Thursday. And there's a couple drunk guys, and they're just running their circles.
Shocker.
Being complete a-holes. And then we have a little tiff. We leave. They follow us out, and there was an altercation. People got thrown on the ground. There was some judo moves employed. No punches to the face, mostly to the body, and a kick to the balls. The cops are all over us. They're like, "How do you see your ID?" And I pull up my military ID, and they look at it, and they're like, "Oh, you're on active duty?" They're like, "You have a good day." And then let me go with a pass.
Bye-bye.
That's exactly, yeah. What are you gonna do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But we love the military
Oh, that's
stories.
a good one right there.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's one of those painted-on ones. Like, how is that
It can't be real.
physically possible?
It's not real. It can't be real.
I've seen stuff like
I
this
deny
in
it!
person.
I deny it's real. Stop talking.
Admit nothing, deny everything, and always have a counter-accusation.
That's right. that shit is way out of my price range anyway. I don't need that aggravation.
We have to discuss this because after finding one crazy-eyed fucking wacko feminist last week who actually supports Amber Heard, you and I were talking the other day about how this is not only the death nail of the Me Too movement, but there are feminists out there who are still supporting this woman despite a mountain of evidence proving that everything out of her mouth
It's just a big fucking lie.
pure bullshit. The only thing that doesn't come out of her mouth that's bullshit is the semen she swallows.
This woman, Amber Heard, the turd.
From
What I have seen in the court and the evidence that was presented, Johnny Depp's life was a living fucking nightmare.
Yep.
And I'm sure he'll only bang that woman probably in their entire relationship 60, 70 times.
That is definitely not worth the...
No.
I mean, in this case, you would have to do a pimped wife statute that would take into account all the money he lost.
Yes.
As a result of smashing that
and
pink
future
pocket.
earnings.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Oh, wow, that is a weird equation. I should start working on.
Lost wages from the Poo Nanny, where it disappears into the Bermuda Triangle, never to be seen again.
Yeah, and then we have to add in Johnny's legal fees.
Yep. Wow.
It's not going to be as expensive as Bezos.
No. He's going to be winner and champion forever.
Yeah, but he was only married to her for what, 14 months?
Yeah. It was very, very short.
I mean,
and the fact that we're still hearing about this, I mean, this has been years. It's insane.
Yeah, 6 years. Just think of that. Johnny Depp, who's filthy rich, it took him 6 fucking years to get here, and he got shot down in England and a couple other court cases he tried to file, and they were shot down. 6 years. What chance do average people like you and I have? My advice to you is this: don't ever get married. Do your own fucking thing. Improve your life. Don't look for your mission or your purpose between the legs of a woman.
No. And ironically, by doing just that, you'll have Poon throwing itself at you hand over, balled up fist, if you know what I
for
mean.
a while you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you get about mid-40s, and then it dies off, and then it's done by 55.
Yeah, but I'm saying if that's your bag and you just want to, hit it casually and move on, just use a fake name and wrap your tool.
Or just be honest. There's women out there like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
I mean,
Scott McTavish, how's it going?
I'm a bad liar. I don't know if I can pull that off.
That's why you retired from the infantry and not the CIA.
Correct.
Oh, but we got a lot of good liars here because at this point, with the mountain of evidence that's out there, if you're still supporting Amber Heard and trying to justify it, you are a liar. And worst of all, you're lying to yourself.
Well, and here's another thing. Is they're trying to use this case that Johnny's doing right now, and they're like, well, if they come down and hammer Amber, then that'll have a chilling effect on people who are legitimately sexually assaulted and repaid.
No, it won't. That is the most pathetic bullshit excuse, and they pull it out every single time one of these high-profile penis sheaths gets caught lying like a rug. And I'm not talking about the rug they used to munch on when they were a free spirit in college.
Yep. But my thing is this, is like women have been getting a free pass for acting like absolute fucking lying cunts for dozens, or if not, 2 or 3 decades, and they get away with it because the judge is like, well, if I really hammer this person, and all other women will not come forward when they're repaid or sexually assaulted. That is absolutely incorrect. If it's a true repay, these women need to come forward.
Yeah.
They should come forward. And if it was legitimate beatdown rape, the dude who did it needs to be buried under the fucking jail, because I do not condone that at all.
Yeah, and there may be some, there's Might be some people out there be like, I don't know, that sounds a little extreme. You did a video on this, and this was the article that it was based on right here. Kansas, charges dropped against student accused of falsely reporting rape. Why? 3 felony counts dropped over concerns that the case could discourage survivors from reporting their attack, district attorney said. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. There's the free pass. That is such horse shit.
Yeah.
And look, when you really look at the sexual assault stats, more men are raped than women.
Yep.
Because they ignore all the shit that takes place in prison.
Mm-hmm. And just when you ignore unreciprocated domestic violence, you all of a sudden you completely just overlook the fact that most of the victims of domestic violence are men.
Yeah, when I was younger, I had a couple girlfriends that were kind of slappy. They're always slapping me shit, and I
They're
didn't
always
ever
going
take
after
nothing
you
to
with a
them,
baseball bat.
Well, most of the time I'm holding like a burger and I'm like eating, and she's like yelling at me like, "Yeah, shut up," because they can't do anything to you.
No.
I mean, I was 22, 5'11", 180, 6% body fat. I benched over 2 times my body weight. Like, yeah, fuck off, yeah. And what are you gonna do about it? Yeah. And then they start picking up stuff and throwing it. Like, all right, I'm leaving.
Or chase you down the street with a giant blue dildo.
That was pretty good. I looked terrible in that picture, though.
Get your hair cut, you bastard.
I did. I'm just
okay,
old.
finally.
Look, hey, here, look, see, there it is, right there.
Okay. You should see your hair in the clean room segment of administrative violence.
It's terrible.
It looks like a topographical map of the Mississippi
went on vacation
Basin.
for 3 weeks. I literally come in, I'm like, don't ever do that again, man.
Son of a bitch.
You bastard.
And I was laughing, like, as soon as all of a sudden you're like the back, like the crown of your head is right there, like dead center on camera. I'm like, it looks like a topographical map of the Mississippi Basin. What the fuck is going on here? It looked like you got struck by lightning.
I'm getting old.
Hey, you give me shit about my hair thinning all the time. Turnabout's fair play. Bro.
No, I'm cool with it, man. Listen, you've known me for over a decade.
You could take a good burn.
I handle a very good burn.
Yes. And before we get into this, I do want to let everybody know that when we go to New Tech to review your super chats tonight and read them out loud, we do have fucked up but funny for you. And we got some real good ones because, they're really good when Pop's like, no. Trying to shield his eyes from it, sweating in embarrassment.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh.
Oh, but here we go.
Here
Like,
we go.
There's no better place to find this sheer malevolence than Twatter.
Here we go.
So you got all these people here. What happened to believe all women? Everyone under I Stand With Johnny Depp is a fucking hypocrite. Let me remind you this. Johnny is an alcoholic and a drug addict. Those two are the most common problem found in abusers. Hashtag I Stand With Amber Heard. Hashtag support Amber Heard. Difference being, and this is kind of important, only one of them has ever actually been arrested for domestic violence.
I was just going to say that.
Only one of them has a history of beating the ever-loving shit out of the person pleasuring her pleasure house.
Now listen. The way men behave. If you're a violent man who cannot handle your anger, you will see that in arrest records and so forth when the guy's in his younger years moving forward. By the time you get to 50, I find it hard to believe that someone who's never had that kind of problem all of a sudden develops it.
Yeah, you don't magically become a wife beater in your 50s.
Yeah, and even like some of these recordings, Johnny's like, I need to leave. I need my peace.
Leave me alone.
I'm leaving. And so he slams a couple cupboard doors. He's mad. What does he do? He fucking leaves.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
When you're losing your mind or anger is now in the control room, pushing buttons and turning wheels and take you all kinds of crazy places.
Yeah.
You kindly push away from the table.
Bye-bye.
I need to take a moment.
Yeah.
And then you walk out, and then in your mind, you beat the shit out of anger and put him back in the goddamn boiler room, shoveling coal into the fire. That's all he ever does.
Yeah. It's there you go. You know,
God, what is it with me and my rants?
I mean, his ex-wife, the person that you would think would have the most modus operandi to come out and say, hey, yeah, he was a dickbag to me. It's like, no. She said flat out, that is not the Johnny that I knew and loved.
That's right.
Talking about the shoplifter Winona Ryder, in case you didn't know.
Plus, he was with another woman for like 14 years or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And
he's kind of a serial monogamist, really.
yeah, I mean, granted, that is a shortfall, but it doesn't make him a wife beater.
No, and he's politically, he's a dickbag.
Yes.
You and I don't agree with anything that comes out of his mouth.
He's an asshole.
But in this case, the facts are the facts, and the facts are in his favor.
And listen,
end of story.
You know, how many times have we heard stories about actors or real famous people being alcoholics and having a drug problem? All right, it happens all the time. In Hollywood, that's nothing.
Shocker.
Yeah, there's like a rehab facility on virtually every block, every corner in L.A.
Yeah, if you don't have a drinking and drug problem in Hollywood, you're kind of the outcast. As
Absolutely
fucked
correct.
up as that is.
Absolutely correct. But I mean, it is true here what she said.
It is true, but I guarantee you this. If it were to come out that Lindsay Lohan, who obviously has a substance abuse and alcohol problem, were to, be a man-hating, chase him down the street with a giant blue dildo kind of a domestic abuser, this same person would defend the ever-loving shit out of her. I guarantee it. And why? Because of this tweet. Let's check it out. Glitter Markers says, #support Amber Heard, #listen to women, #Amber Heard. I support the most nastiest women in the world because behind her is a man in her life torturing the utter crap out of her. #feminist.
Wow.
Thank you for proving that they are all like that.
Yeah, listen, and this is actually this is a good thing for us, not for Johnny or the turd. But the men are seeing exactly what is in store for them. Listen, Johnny Depp has got an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
He checks all the blocks. It still wasn't good enough for this crazy narcissist, fucking dick-sucking whore.
Yeah.
Because she was cheating on him while he was married to her.
Yep.
All right, same thing with Will Smith. I mean, how many of these top, A-list actors who get torn apart by women do we need before men start saying, this is crazy, I'm out. I don't want to participate.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm going off on all these rants.
Oh, no, it's fine, man. I mean, it's on topic. And like we said, Johnny Depp, politically, he's a bit of a dickbag. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make him wrong in this instance, though. Like this feminist biatcha here at Witch Uprising on Twitter, it is always absolutely inexcusable to support Roman Polanski. I agree. Johnny Depp is so exceptionally ignorant and sexist with this quote. That's correct. It doesn't make him a fucking abuser, though.
That's absolutely correct. Listen, you could be an asshole, a dick, a complete fucking idiot. You still should not be thrown in prison and having your life destroyed for it unless you legitimately do that to other people.
Yeah.
And then it's a karma thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, and then you got bitches like this one, Laura at Mango Python. What happened to Johnny Depp was awful, but I hate how people are using this opportunity to be sexist. If he were a woman, this would have been different, as if we as a society care about women or something. Yeah, there's a reason why your tweet only has 2 likes, you fucking cunt.
Hang on. All right. Women enjoy an environment here in America in the West, which is the safest, most luxurious, and protected that they've ever been in all of human history that we can remember.
Yep.
And all they do is bitch, moan, and complain.
Yeah.
And we're terrible because we won't lie down on the ground and let them walk all over us 24/7, 365.
How dare you?
Fuck that. Fuck them.
Well, when you're used to special treatment, which women get from cradle to grave, equality feels like oppression.
You are correct.
Oh, boy.
Whores.
I don't even want to read this one, but I know we're going to have to do it. Oh, hang on. I really like that one, but...
Hang on.
Somebody's got to take one for the team.
Stand by.
Okay.
Adequate.
For now.
Okay.
Give it. I mean, that's a very, very rotund booty right there. Give it 10 years.
Well, I would say she is in her late 20s developing saddlebagitis.
It's going to get there.
Pretty soon she's going to have 2 mail bags on each hip. Yeah.
Now, as always, gentlemen, all resources and references are available on Redonkulas.com, including a bunch of episodes debunking virtually every mainstream Me Too thing that has ever come out. I actually forgot to put the Weinstein one in there because that's really what kicked off this new stage of feminism thinking that they're still relevant. But if you remember, October 2015, we did an episode called Proudman Pounding.
I can't believe it was over 7 years ago.
Yeah, 2015. This chick, Charlotte Proudman, actually she's Charlotte Bailey, but she decided that in order to get back at her father, who gave his fortune away to cancer charities, although he still left her a sizable trust fund with which to go to university, that he was a bad guy because patriarchy. So she took her grandmother's name, Proud Man, ironic for a feminist, because no one who's ever stuck even so much as a finger in that woman is a proud man. I'm just saying.
Okay, and I recall she was finishing up law school 7 years ago, and she's not even working in that profession now. According to the article, she is getting her PhD at 33.
Yep, this was the story at the time. This was September 2015. The feminazi versus the leering lawyer. What female barrister who objected to LinkedIn compliments said as she ogled men on the web. Bottom line, this dude is about 30 years her senior, who she initiated a connection with on LinkedIn, complimented her profile photo. Oh my God! And for some reason, this was news. Yeah. Because it's sexist misogyny to give a woman a compliment now.
And I can guarantee you this. She's getting her PhD because the lawyers, the people who are actually in those positions, basically probably, as a gambling man, I can almost guarantee you she's fucking blackballed for that.
Oh, I sincerely hope so. And I find it even funnier because when you look at this article, and I don't think we mentioned this at the time, she threw a fucking hissy fit over a dude who's a hyphenate. Mr. Carter Silk.
Oh, my God.
So he's probably a simp for whoever's name he took, and she still thought that the best way to break into a career in law was to blackball a 30-year veteran in his profession, and she thought that that wasn't going to backfire.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of women who bought into the whole feminist lie.
Yep.
Who are train wrecking their lives by the numbers.
Yes.
And if they're totally unfortunate, they will awaken from this fog of blasphemy and brainwashing in their 40s, and they'll be like, holy fuck, what have I done? And then it's just a game of catch-up.
At that point, it's too late, though.
Yeah, at 40, listen.
Done. Your fertility's gone.
Yeah. Listen, that saying I come up with, 40 to 80 is a long fucking time. And that one is aimed strictly at these women out there who basically piss away their youth for whatever reason and wind up singing the blues when they're on their own.
Yep. It takes a special brand of stupid to look at a situation where you can literally move from your daddy's home into your husband's home, never have to work a difficult job a day in your life, and all you're really expected to do is keep a home, raise children, and cook meals. And somehow, while somebody is out there literally putting their life on the line, breaking their back for you every single day so you don't have to do it, it takes a special kind of stupid to call that oppression.
Yes, it does.
Because 95% of workforce deaths are still men. You don't really care about equality in that instance, do you?
No.
Ladies.
You know, and when you bring that up to them, like, well, that's because men are stupid. Like, oh, God.
Sure. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the jobs that they don't want equality in are things like, I don't know, roofing, high wire construction, all this other stuff.
Lumberjack. Listen, I spent
Mining.
2 summers during college doing tear-offs for roofers. Let me tell you, that sucked! It was terrible. Oh, both. I mean, there were a couple times that literally was almost a heat stroke.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
It gets crazy up there on a roof.
No,
But let's do it.
There we go.
Charlotte Proudman writing for The Independent. Why do people blindly support Johnny Depp? I'll tell you why. As a barrister... Sure. I see many victims of domestic violence being sued for defamation, for daring to speak about what their perpetrator did to them. Meanwhile, the world questions whether they're a real victim. Well, when you've got 80 videos, audio recordings, eyewitnesses all proving that she's not a victim, in fact, she's the perpetrator, it kind of tends to sway the public opinion a little bit.
Yeah, like logic and reason affecting people out there.
Yep.
What is the world coming to?
Speaking of logic and reason, we're not going to read this whole thing because I can only handle so much stupid at any one time. But if you read this article, you will notice there is one particular subject that she refuses to address and, in fact, never even hints that it exists. Can you guess what that is?
Evidence.
That's correct. Yeah. Apparently, if Amber Heard says it's true, it has to be true. She doesn't address the recordings, the videos, none of it.
Pound me too. Believe all women.
And then, of course, there was the makeup compact that she claimed she had to carry with her throughout their entire relationship that wasn't created until years after they had gotten divorced.
2017.
Oh, it's such bullshit. Oh, yeah, I love this here. Depp lost his defamation claim in the High Court in London in 2020. Yes, because, the High Court of London, the place where they have an elected mayor who says that you should just get used to terrorist attacks as part of big city living.
Yep.
They're totally trustworthy.
Yeah.
And they review all evidence without looking at your genitalia before making a decision.
Now, if I recall, in England, in that court case, all of Johnny's text messages were accidentally introduced into evidence and none of Amber Heard's.
Of course. And I love
that's
this.
That's what I heard.
I'm going to give this the bullshit treatment right here. Depp lost his defamation claim in the High Court in London 2020. He was greeted with adoring fans throwing roses at him, blowing kisses, and holding supportive banners. I stood next to him after we passed through security. He smiled, and I gave him my best dead eyes.
I'm sure that's not very hard for her.
Well, considering she has no soul.
Well, she's a brainwashed fucking cunt.
Well, yes, she
twunt.
is. This is a woman this is a woman who is on record finally admitting what we already know, that feminism and equality have nothing to do with each other.
No, it's domination.
In fact, she actually says that equality is harmful to men and women.
So they want special treatment, but yet they keep wanting this equality thing. They don't mix.
This is everything in this paragraph, by the way, has been debunked by the evidence.
Okay.
The judge later found that Depp physically assaulted Heard, including headbutting her, tearing out clumps of her hair, and holding her by her neck, and she said she had feared for her life. All of that's been debunked.
Lies!
Depp is alleged to have sent texts to his friend Paul Bettany, threatening to burn Heard and fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead. Now, I hadn't heard about this. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about this, yeah.
Well, when you actually read the texts, it's obvious that they're making a joke about her being a witch.
Yeah, they're fucking around, and a lot of the stuff they're talking about are actual lines from movies.
Yes, and this is The Guardian, who Charlotte Proudman also writes for them, that disgusting hooer. But one message sent in 2013 made lewd reference to Heard's beaver. That's when you know you're dating yourself, is when you still call it a beaver. Discussed her murder by burning or drowning. That's not what they were doing.
Well, and that you do that to witches.
Yes. I'm not sure we should burn Amber, wrote Bettany. She's delightful company and pleasing on the eye. We, of course, could do the English course of action and perform a drowning test. Thoughts? You do have a swimming pool. And Depp replied, let's drown her before we burn her. I'll fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she's dead. To which Bettany apparently wrote back, my thoughts entirely. Let's be certain before we pronounce her a witch. It's obviously a joke.
Yes.
But apparently that's enough.
Hey, listen, you got to be careful what you put in text, because they could take this stuff out of context in court and fuck you
it's very
over.
true. And obviously we have a feminist here who is only looking at what she wants to look at, has no evidence to support her claim whatsoever aside from sarcastic text messaging between friends.
And she ignored all the evidence anyway.
Yes. And by the way, these are the same people who will defend #KillAllMen as a joke.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
And they get to keep their they got to keep their Twitter accounts, their Facebook accounts, their YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, and I love this here. It is telling that Depp is dragging Heard through a second high-profile trial in the U.S., hoping for a better outcome. He is suing her for a whopping $50 million. This looks to me like serious financial control.
So she's falling back on the Duluth model here, which is quite literally, if you follow the Duluth model, anything a man does can be classified as domestic violence.
Yeah. Amber Heard is not a victim. Wanting her to be one so you can claim your bullshit ideology still has relevance when it is deader than hammered shit doesn't magically make her one.
Yeah,
Charlotte.
Old turd is a cunt, and this woman's a twant.
Yes.
A twat cunt.
I wish she would go make like Charlotte the Spider. Go lay eggs and crawl off somewhere into a dark hole and pass away.
Expire.
This is pathetic.
Aggravating.
Yeah, you go through this whole article. She refuses to address the evidence at all. All she talks about is the cross-examinations. Depp's lawyer is used as a pawn, a weapon to re-victimize her for the world's entertainment. Well, that part is true enough. Well, the world's entertainment part, at least. That's hilarious.
I'm going to be honest. After I heard all of the fucking fucked up shit she did to Johnny, I am glad. I am ecstatic that they're twisting the knife in her back now.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed to introduce a lot of this evidence in the London trial.
And guess what? She's 36. It's over for her.
Oh, she's done.
She's done.
She is a done Tom turkey.
Her primary earning years in Hollywood for 22 to 32.
Yep.
And she's expended a lot of time fighting this case. And a lot of people from Hollywood have been subpoenaed to testify, and they're extremely unhappy about it. They don't want to be caught in the middle in this horse shit. As a betting man, I would say she's done.
Yeah. This is such horse shit, man. Ugh. Listen to this here. So when I see hashtags trending on Twitter like Amber Heard is a liar, I realize how deeply entrenched misogyny is in our society. It doesn't matter that there's a high court decision proving that Depp assaulted Heard. It actually doesn't prove anything. Because if it was a high court decision proving that he assaulted her, guess where he would be?
He'd be in jail.
Jail.
It was first of all, it was a civilian suit. It wasn't a criminal suit.
Exactly. It didn't prove shit. All you can prove is like wrongful something, wrongful intent even in these situations. It's a bunch of horse shit. And her as a barrister, which is just British lawyer.
In name only.
Barrister in name only, because now she's a PhD, which, she wouldn't have to be if she was able to get a job as a lawyer.
Which she can't because she blackballed herself with her fucking... dick suckers.
Yeah, I really wish this fucking flunt would close her piss flaps. And if you forget what flunt means, it means fat, loose, useless, nuptial taint.
Oh, flunt, I love that. Flunt.
This woman is vile. I mean, it really takes a level almost of talent to turn your back on reality so completely that you can tune out audio recordings, video evidence, eyewitnesses. None of those things Amber Heard was able to produce that weren't edited for content.
Yep.
Yeah, she had one video, edited, sent to TMZ. Magically, Johnny Depp is the devil. And he's, I don't know how many millions of dollars lighter as a result of that.
Well, he gave her $7 million to get out of his life.
Yep.
That she did not donate like she said she was. After this expose was published, Johnny virtually lost all of his jobs.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm glad Disney's taking it on the chin for like 2 major franchises are now dead because of their firing of Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Like literally, Fantastic Beasts, done. Pirates of the Caribbean, done. Those are very expensive to make, and they did not get their return.
Yep.
So guess what? If somebody's like, let's make another one, sooner or later, they're like, there's not enough money in the purse. We want something that's going to make money. Fuck off.
It's pathetic, man. And it goes deeper than this. Now, if Charlotte Proudman did any research, which she clearly doesn't do, so it's no shock that
as a barrister?
Yeah, even if she didn't blackball herself into oblivion with her bullshit on LinkedIn, I mean, there's no way she could be a competent lawyer.
Probably not.
She's a liar.
Yep. Let's go down to the comments in this. I want to see what people said in the comments.
Oh, it's archived because you can't read it unless you pay for it. So I can't look at the comments.
Oh, okay.
It sucks. But, hang on. We already saw her. I do have some more, some of the research that she should have done.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
At avoiceformen.com, false allegations of sexual abuse and divorce have become prevalent to the point that a name has been given, the SAID syndrome, S-A-I-D. Sexual allegations in divorce. In fact, with child custody disputes, some research indicates that up to 70% of domestic violence allegations are considered false. Literature reports that the prevalence of false allegations is up to 84%, and approximately 85% of those are issued against men. Even if we go with the lower figure of 70%, that means over 2/3 of accusations are fabricated. The travesty in this number is that it represents individual parents. That means that numerous parents are wrongly accused and erroneously experience unadulterated devastation and destruction due to a blatant misrepresentation of the facts by their ex or soon-to-be. The misuse of restraining orders is also an unfortunate trend. The power of false allegations of abuse in family court is undeniable. In a majority of cases, the use of false allegations stems from a high conflict personality and other personality disorders of the accusing parent. What was Amber Heard diagnosed with by her psychologist?
What? There was like two or
Borderline
three
personality disorder.
Yeah, she's one bipolar bitch, man.
Yep. Gee, Charlotte, it's almost like when you bother to look at the facts, you'd realize that you're completely full of shit.
But I'm going to tell you this right now. avoiceformen.com, anything you put on here, they will totally disregard and disbelieve.
Yep.
Because the person behind this is Paul Elam, and I believe he is like on the bad boy list at the ADL.
Yep.
And all he's doing is stand up for men's rights.
Yeah.
And
that's okay, though, because we also have the National Library of Medicine.
Oh, here we go.
Because, you can't have Me Too without false rapé allegations, right? And this is a study that we've quoted many times, but this is the first time that I've seen it at the NIH. So somebody has been doing their homework. Thank you very much. This is the Canaan study from 1994, conducted in cahoots with, I believe it was Purdue University and the Air Force. With the cooperation of a police agency of a small metropolitan community, 45 consecutive disposed false rape allegations covering a 9-year period were studied. These allegations constitute 41% of all cases reported during that period. And these allegations appear to serve 3 major functions for the complainants: providing an alibi, seeking revenge, and obtaining sympathy and attention. False rape allegations are not the consequence of a gender-linked aberration as frequently claimed, but reflect impulsive and desperate efforts to cope with personal and social stress situations.
Wow. Yep. Holy
facts.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can find when you look up facts.
And here's another thing they'll do. Well, that study's from 1994.
Well, that doesn't matter now.
It's so old. Listen.
Well, you know what's older than that?
Yeah.
The only 2% of rape allegations are false statistic. And I put statistic in quotes because it actually comes from a fictional book written in the 1970s called Against Her Will. And the claim in that book was never sourced.
Yep.
So there is no proof that only 2 to 10% of rape allegations are false.
Well, there's way more than that, but because they don't want to piss off the world, it's called unfounded.
Yeah. You ask any cop, they will tell you, and you ask them, what is the number one crime that is falsely reported? They will not hesitate. Rape.
It's actually now sexual assault.
Yeah, because they have to change the language so that it can mean, getting beat down in the alleyway and forcefully penetrated. And that's the same thing, apparently, as accidentally touching your butt in the elevator.
That's right. Yeah. You're in the elevator and it's too crowded and you bump into a woman and your back rubs on her tits.
Dead.
You're going to jail.
Yep. You want to know how you can tell when the left is losing the debate? They move the goalposts.
They do it every time.
Remember in the 70s, there's another ice age coming. That's not happening.
Right.
Global warming in the 90s. That's not happening. Average global temperature's actually gone down by a couple degrees. Oh, well, we'll just call it climate change then. 2010 comes along. Then we're never wrong.
Leftist 101, move the goalposts.
They have moved the goalposts so far. They have now exited the stadium, and they're in the middle of the freeway outside, and cars have to, like, figure out a way to snake around that shit.
Yep. Oh, Lordy.
Oh,
This
goodness
is some
gracious.
serious bullshit right here.
Oh, yes, it is. And, I mean, Me Too has been dead since 2019, 2020-ish.
2020-ish.
It died as soon as this article came
All right,
out.
hang on. Before we get into this, let's do a roll call real quick. See where we are.
Oh, okay, we're going to do that before we go to new tech.
Okay.
That's just fine by me. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're enjoying the stream. We got 88 currently watching over on Twitch, 64 on D-Live, 71 on Odyssey, 658 currently watching on Rumble. Hope everybody's having a good time and behaving themselves.
Yes.
YouTube has 941 currently watching, but only 524 likes.
Whoa,
What
50 come on.
man. You need to smash that shit. If you don't, I'm going to have Amber Heard come and poop in your bed. And 48 on MGTOW.tv.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to know when, let's say this article and other feminist reactions like it, because I want to say the chick who actually pioneered the hashtag #MeToo movement, you know, she said that there was no way that we could find Brett Kavanaugh, you know, that he could admit it right now. And we still couldn't possibly put him on the Supreme Court. It's terrible. Well, Tara Reid comes along, and not only does she have the record to back it up, but there's a 30-year-old phone call on Larry King proving that this was known at the time.
Yeah, she talked about it virtually within days of it happening to her.
Yep. Yeah. But all of a sudden, Joe Biden can be accountable and electable.
Ugh. That's fucking nuts.
I love this. I believe Tara Reid. I'm voting for Joe Biden anyway. This is even worse. The importance of owning an ugly moral choice. Isn't that all feminist choices?
Yeah, I would think so.
I love this. Let's be clear. I believe Tara Reid. I believed Anita Hill, too. Remember the buttons? I wore one. What's the constant here? Joe Biden, then the bumbling head of the Senate Judiciary Committee during the Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings, now the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. Long before Miss Reid, before the reports of the rubbing and the sniffing, there weren't reports. We have videos of the rubbing and the sniffing.
He's the rub and tug president.
He's the Fresh Prince of Smell Hair. I interviewed an advisor to Miss Hill who said she tried to warn Mr. Biden of what was happening in the Thomas hearings, how unchecked Republicans were smearing an upright woman's character. But the United States Senate was still very much a boys' club back then, the advisor told me, and there was no getting through to him. Democratic primary voters knew all about Mr. Biden's membership in that boys' club when there was still time to pick someone else. Alas. So what's a girl to do now? Discounting Miss Reid's accusation and, one after another, denigrating her corroborating witnesses, calling for endless new evidence and avowing that you hear her is nonsense. We are now up to 4 corroborating witnesses, including one contemporary corroborating witness unearthed by Rick McHugh, who was Ronan Farrow's producer at NBC News during the Harvey Weinstein reporting, and one Larry King live tape. I'll take one for the team. I believe Miss Reid, and I'll vote for Mr. Biden this fall. Me too. Dead.
That's right. They only use the Me Too against people that they want to get rid of.
Yeah. And never mind the fact that, you know, prior to this, you know, we're talking like back in, you know, when Monica Lewinsky, you know, got her cigar enema or whatever it was.
Oof.
Democrats, you know, the believe all women people, all of a sudden magically, she was the instigator. She was the predator. She was the problem.
And you know who was the ringleader in that? It was Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. And she, man.
And you know what? I believe was it the former president had a out-of-wedlock child who was mysteriously Hillary Clinton.
Yep. It's
wow.
Quite ridiculous.
Wow, that is some savage, ugly, brutal shit.
Yeah,
right there.
but don't forget.
Now here we go.
Don't forget, you need to believe all women, and women, of course, never lie about rape.
Oh my God.
Woo!
Here we go.
Yeah.
Women don't cry rape.
Just
Bullshit.
Just saying. All the people now who are back to screaming "My body, my choice" 6 months ago wanted you to get fired from your job and lose your livelihood
For refusing the poke.
because they wanted to be a big pharmaceutical shill. They wanted everyone to be a part of that $39 billion profit, and that's just for Pfizer.
But the thing here, you're talking about those people out there who are just useful idiots. They fall for everything.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Yep.
Useful idiots!
Useful idiots indeed.
Yep.
Hey, we know what happens to the useful idiots.
They wind up in a landfill.
Night of the brown shirts.
Yeah. Well, in Night of the Brown Shirts, they just went and cut the head off the snake. They didn't kill everyone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. If you want to develop, I mean, if you're not quite sure, you want to continue life in Joe Biden's America, and you want to give yourself a bit of brain cancer, you can read this article. Because I'll read you just a sample. Holy shit. Even in this groundbreaking Me Too movement, the age-old myth that a woman who says she was raped is a liar, covering up a regretted act of consensual sex, remains as popular as ever because it's true. In Dave Chappelle's new comedy special, The Bird Revelation, he jokes that if Harvey Weinstein looked like Brad Pitt, he would not have been accused of assault and rape. He's right.
Pretty much.
If you remember Asia Argento, the one who, after claiming that Harvey Weinstein raped her at the Cannes Film Festival. Oh, and by the way, she kept going back for seconds and thirds after that because that's what you do when you've been sexually assaulted, right?
Of course.
And she's a champion of the Me Too movement, and then it turns out she was sleeping with an underage kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not really believing it now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But when you choose to sleep with someone in a position of power because you think it's going to further your career, that's regret sex. Not rape. It is
worst case scenario. It's a choice.
Yep. But the myth of the woman who falsely cries rape should never serve as a punchline. I've been tracking slut shaming when women and girls are labeled sluts and hoes for over 2 decades, interviewing hundreds of teenage girls and women who have been ostracized, harassed, and assaulted as a result of their sexual reputation. And you're going to conveniently leave out the part where the people doing the ostracizing, harassing, and assaulting for their reputation are women.
Are probably other women.
Men don't do that.
Well,
We'll just say, "Oh, you have a Clinton body count? Well, I'm not going to marry that. I'll entertain it for 7 to 10 minutes, and I'll give you a fake name, but
No.
I'm not writing a check against it."
when men are like in high school and they find that stuff out, they'll mess with chicks for that, make fun of them and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you get older, it's a non-issue for men.
Women are the ones who are going around calling slut against virgins because they just don't want the competition.
Hey, look, they want to compete with traditional women, and traditional women will probably always defeat them in the end.
Amen to that.
Because they're selling used-up goods that they gave away for free.
Mm-hmm. And once again, just like Charlotte Proudman, you go through this entire article. Where are the sources? Where are the studies? Oh, no, wait, it's all anecdotal bullshit.
No.
It's not like just in the last decade alone we haven't seen the UVA hoax, Mattress Girl, the Weinstein debacle, the bullshit Bill Cosby trial,
Oh, my God.
Michael Jackson. If you guys haven't seen Razorfist's dissection of the Cosby and Jackson trials, oh, man, you are missing out. You have to watch those.
You know what? I'm wondering where the lawsuit is from Cosby against the state that
It needs to happen.
It needs to happen.
Because they admitted a testimony into court that was agreed upon to be sealed.
Correct.
You can't do that. Never mind the fact that the judge refused to recuse himself from the case, made a bid for a judge specifically for the purpose of locking up Cosby. That's not a conflict of interest at all.
Certainly not. It's totally
Never.
above board.
Yeah.
Look, if Cosby, listen, if I was Bill Cosby and they let me out of jail for some bullshit, I would go to my grave suing the ever-loving snot out of everyone involved. I would have formal complaints against those judges. I mean, I would go full administrative violence on everyone fucking involved.
You're damn right.
And I would and I would have the money to do it.
Yeah. Yep. But hang on. But we're in leftoid la la land, right? Preponderance of accusers is magically enough to make someone guilty, unless you're accusing the Clintons of murder.
Here we go.
Yeah, 50 women accusing Bill Cosby of rapé, ironclad evidence. 50 dead bodies, most of which were suicided with 2 bullet wounds in the back of the head. Coincidence?
I think not.
It's like puking on a pile of shit.
That's pretty bad. Wow.
All right, ladies and germs, I think that we have arrived in time for a piss break, so we're going to drain the main vein, and then we are going to jump to new tech. We're going to read your super chats, and we're going to get into some fucked up but funny.
Can you run a commercial for administrative violence?
You're damn right I can. You guys want to see some administrative violence? You want to see some administrative violence, don't you?
Now, before we go there, I want to talk about it real quick.
Of course.
This administrative violence course that I put together is a fucking game changer.
Yes, it is.
Okay. If you're tired of getting more of the same, you're tired of seeing your friends get more of the same, or you have friends who are looking at the hammer here, you need to get this course. Because this is beyond cancel culture. Cancel culture, you get some people get together, they make phone calls, and send emails, and keep people fired and turn their life upside down. No. This is cancer culture with a sniper rifle. You can wreak absolute fucking havoc on all of the people who are fucking you in this system.
Are you ready?
There we go.
Ready on the right?
Up!
Ready on the left?
Yep!
Ready in the center?
Yeah, let's do this.
Did you know that 80% of divorces are filed by women? Wow! And most of the time, the men, they're caught completely by surprise. But the biggest surprise is what's waiting for these men in divorce and family court. Corrupt lawyers and judges, and they're all hiding behind that nebulous term, best interest of the child. Yeah, right. Turning men into wage slaves and pillaging your Social Security to pay for it. Oh, I understand. You don't believe me. Look up Title 4D, and when you're done, pour yourself the hard stuff. If you are sick and tired of this happening, this is the course for you. My name is Terrence Popp, retired Army vet, evil genius, and unfortunately a non-custodial parent. I have lived through this hell personally. And as a good soldier, I want to make sure the men behind me get a fair shake. I have spent over 10 years researching this corrupt, broken system and advising men one-on-one the skills that I'm going to teach you. I took all of that and I created Administrative Violence, Divorce, and Custody Edition. This webinar includes over 4 hours of tutorials, exclusive interviews with other men who survived this system, and a workbook so you can tie it all together. How military of me. For $200, I'm going to show you how to turn Western bureaucracy into your female breeding dog, if you know what I mean. And here's the best part. It's all legal. It's in the gray area, but let's not split hairs, shall we? Administrative Violence will be released on Memorial Day only on manopay.net. But here's the rub without the tug. It's only on sale for 5 days. And supporters on these sites are going to get a coupon code to save a little cash. So saddle up and get ready to level the playing field. They wanted equality. I'm just making sure they get it.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a fucking game changer.
Damn right.
If I convert this over to a book, it could be really big.
Hell yeah, man. All right. We're going to jump to new tech. Make sure that you guys look for those links in the YouTube chat so you can follow us over to Rumble, MGTOW.TV, Odyssey, DLive, or Twitch, and we'll see you in 5.